Hello, a warm welcome to you from SGT University. I am Dinesh Deswal, Faculty of Engineering and Technology. Today we will be learning about 4-bar mechanism inversions, single slider crank mechanism and its inversions. As we already covered Grashof law and 4-bar mechanism, let us start with the inversion of 4-bar mechanisms. The first inversion of the 4-bar mechanism is beam engine, which is also known as the crank rocker mechanism. It consists of 4 links. The links are XA, which is act as a frame, the link AB, that is crank, the link BC, that is connecting rod, then there is link CE, which is a rocker. All the 4 links are connected by pin joints, therefore it is also called 4R bar chain or 4-bar chain mechanism. In this, the motion is crank rocker motion. When the crank rotates about the center A, the lever oscillates about a fixed center D. The end E of the lever CDE is connected to the piston rod, which reciprocates due to the rotation of the crank. Or we can say the purpose of this mechanism is to convert rotary motion into reciprocating motion. A beam engine is a type of steam engine where a pivoted overhead beam is used to apply the force to a vertical position. This configuration was used to remove the water from mines. The second inversion of 4-bar mechanism is coupling rod of locomotive, which is also known as double crank mechanism. It consists of 4 links. The links AD and BC acts as cranks and are connected to the respective wheels. The link CD behaves as a coupling rod and the link AB is fixed to have a constant center distance. And in respect to fixed link, the input and output motion happens. This mechanism is used to transmit rotary motion from one wheel to the other wheel. There is a simple principle that if 2 opposite links are equal and parallel to each other, then any of the links is fixed, we only get double crank mechanism. A coupling rod or side rod connects the driving wheels of a locomotive. Steam locomotives in particular usually have them, but some diesel and electric locomotives, especially older ones and shunters, also have them. The coupling rods transfer the power of drive to all wheels. The third inversion of the 4-bar mechanism is Watt indicator mechanism, which is also known as double rocker mechanism. It is having 4 links. There is fixed link at A, link AC, link CE and link BFD, which is a single link as there is no relative motion between BF and FD. The both links CE and BFD acts as levers. The displacement of the link is directly proportional to the pressure of gas or steam acted on the piston. For any small displacement of the link BFD, the tracking point E at the end of the link CE traces out a straight line and indicates the value of pressure. The fourth inversion of the 4-bar mechanism is pantograph, which is also known as the double lever mechanism. It consists of a 4-bar chain in the form of a parallelogram. The link 1 is fixed. The pantograph is a coping device. The exact motion can be obtained of any link to a reduced or enlarged scale with the help of pantograph. Now we will be going to discuss single slider crank mechanism and its inversions. Single slider crank mechanism is also known as 3R1P mechanism, where R stands for revolute joint and P stands for prismatic joint. A slider crank mechanism is a 4-link mechanism which consists of 3 revolute joints and 1 prismatic or sliding joint. Let us begin with the inversion of single slider crank mechanism. We have already discussed that when one of the link is fixed in a kinematic chain, it is called a mechanism. So we can obtain as many mechanisms as the number of links in a kinematic chain by fixing in turn different links in a kinematic chain. This method of obtaining different mechanisms by fixing different links in a kinematic chain is known as inversion of the mechanism. The first inversion we can obtain by fixing the cylinder. The rotation of crank drives the linear movement in the slider, or the expansion of gases against a sliding piston in a cylinder can drive the rotation of the crank. In simple words, if the input is provided at the crank, then we will get reciprocation as an output at the piston. For example, reciprocating compressor. If the input is provided at piston, then we will get rotation at the crank. For example, engine. So, by fixing the cylinder, we get two mechanisms, that is reciprocating compressor and reciprocating engine. The second inversion we can obtain by fixing the crank. When the crank is fixed, we get two mechanisms. The first one is Whitworth quick return motion mechanism and the second one is rotary engine, which is also known as genome engine. Let us discuss the Whitworth quick return motion mechanism. The Whitworth quick return motion mechanism converts rotary motion into reciprocating motion. But unlike the crank and slider, the forward reciprocating motion is at a different rate to the backward stroke. The circular rotating disc is called the crank. The link connecting to the rotating disc is called slider. At the bottom of the slotted arm, the peg only has to move through a few degrees to sweep the arm from left to right, but it takes the remainder of the revolution to bring the arm back. This mechanism is most commonly seen as the drive for a shaping machine. The second mechanism is the rotary engine. The rotary engine was an early type of internal combustion engine, usually designed with an odd number of cylinders per row in a radial configuration, in which the crankshaft remained stationary in operation, with the entire crankcase and its attached cylinder rotating around it as a unit. Its main application was in aviation, although it also saw use before its primary aviation role in a few early motorcycles and automobiles. The third inversion we can obtain by fixing the connecting rod of the single slider crank chain. When connecting rod is fixed, we get crank and slotted lever mechanism. This mechanism is mostly used in shaping machine, slotting machines and in rotary internal combustion engines. In this mechanism, the link AC forming the turning pair is fixed. The link AC corresponds to the connecting rod of a reciprocating steam engine. The driving crank CB revolves with uniform angular speed about the fixed center C. A sliding block attached to the crank pin at B slides along the slotted bar AP and thus causes AP to oscillate about the pivoted point A. A short link PR transmits the motion from AP to the ram which carries the tool and reciprocates along the line of stroke R1 R2. The line of stroke of the ram is perpendicular to the connecting rod. Again, when connecting rod is fixed, we get oscillating cylinder mechanism. An oscillating cylinder mechanism is a simple steam engine design that requires no valve gear. In this mechanism, the cylinder rocks or oscillates as the crank moves the piston. Oscillating cylinder steam engines are now mainly used in toys and models, but in the past have been used in full-size working engines, mainly on ships and small stationary engines. They have the advantage of simplicity and therefore low manufacturing costs. They also tend to be more compact than other types of cylinder of the same capacity, which makes them advantageous for use in ships. Now, the fourth inversion we can obtain by fixing the slider of the single slider crank chain. When the slider is fixed, we get bull engine, or we can say pendulum pump. When the slider is fixed, the link 3 can oscillate about the fixed point C. This makes the end B to oscillate about and end A to reciprocate along the axis of fixed link, that is slider. This inversion is used in hand pump. Link 4 is made in the form of a cylinder and a plunger fixed to the link 1 that reciprocates in the cylinder and pump out the water. So today we covered 4-bar mechanism inversions, single slider crank mechanism and its inversions, and the next time we meet we will be exploring double slider crank mechanism. Keep learning, keep growing, see you next time.